Hello students, in this video lesson I will be discussing a couple of questions from exercise 7.1. It's a very important exercise, and along with that at the end look into some homework questions which are given in the form of MCQs. Now let us first understand the meaning of this abbreviation CPCT, because this is the terminology that you are going to use very often in this chapter. Students, you all are aware that triangles are congruent by different tests of congruency. It could be Sss Congruence Rule, AAS Congruence Rule, ASA Congruence Rule, SAS Congruence Rule, or it could also be RHS Congruence Rule. Now, when the triangles are congruent and when they are placed on top of each other, you will notice that they fit exactly onto each other. Not only that, you will also notice that the remaining corresponding angles and the remaining corresponding sides will also be congruent. So what are these remaining corresponding angles and these remaining corresponding sides called? They are known as CPCT, that is, they are the corresponding parts of congruent triangles. Students, we will see how to use this CPCT in some of the questions from exercise 7.1. Now the first question, this is the diagram and the question is in quadrilateral ACBD. It is mentioned that AC is congruent to AD and also this AB is bisecting this angle A. Figure 7.16, that is what is given in the textbook. You have to prove these two triangles congruent, and what can you say about BC and BD? So how do you do this? You have to mention first what is given. Now it is given that AC is equal to AD and also AB is bisecting A. That means these two angles are congruent. So I have shown the indication out here, one in yellow and the other in blue, that this angle is congruent to this angle. And now we start off with the proof. So in the proof, you have to decide which triangles to write. Obviously, there are only two triangles, but writing the name of the triangle should be correct. There should be proper one-to-one correspondence when you're writing the name of the triangles. Okay? You could even decide to take this triangle first and then this triangle here. But take care that all the elements of this triangle will be below it and all the elements of this triangle will be written below this. Now, AC is equal to AD because it is given. So that is the first S. Now these two angles are congruent. That means angle BAC is congruent to BAD. You have to write the reason. You could also write here as given. You could mention the angle also as CAB congruent to, then it will be DAB. Then the third side, AB is congruent to AB. Here, AB congruent to AB because AB is a common side. Therefore, the two triangles are congruent by which test? SAS congruence rule. So that you have to mention. What is the test of congruency? Now, how do you get this as SAS? It is not because this side, this angle and this side. That's not the way. You have to take one of the triangle, either the topmost or the one below, and then look at the test. One side, one angle and one side. So it is SAS. Now, if the triangles are congruent by SAS congruence rule, won't the remaining parts automatically be congruent? That means you have BC congruent to BD because they are the corresponding parts of congruent triangles. So this is how you're going to write the solution. Also, let me point out here that the other parts will also be congruent. That is, angle C will be congruent to D. Not only that, Even this angle, that is CBA, will be congruent to DBA. But of course, they have not asked that, so I have not written it down. Let us look at another question from the same exercise, that is question number 3. Now 7.1, question number 3, again make a note, it is an important question. This is the diagram and the question is AD and BC. They are equal perpendiculars. So I put an equal sign like this, an indication, and they are perpendicular, so 90-degree sign. You have to show that CD bisects AB. Now understand the meaning of CD bisecting AB. When we say that CD is bisecting AB, it means it cuts AB into two equal parts. That means you have to show OB is congruent to OA. So write down what all is given. Okay, after you mention what is given, what you need to prove, and then the proof. So you begin the proof by taking the two triangles. So in triangle OAD and triangle OBC. So if you go like this, OAD, start from O again, and the next triangle will be OBC. Write down whatever is congruent as per the indications. Now, these two angles are congruent because they are vertically opposite angles. Though the indication is not given, you have to put this indication out here. You're showing that they are congruent. Okay, so you start off by writing angle AOD is congruent to angle BOC because you're vertically opposite angles. It is very important that you write the reason next to it. Then angle OAD is congruent to angle OBC because each is 90. So this is 90, this is 90. That is why they are congruent. And the third, you know that AD is congruent to BC because it is given. Now use the test of congruency. You have angle, angle, side. Angle, angle, side. So the test of congruent is AAS congruence rule. Therefore, the remaining parts become congruent. So which are the remaining parts? You will choose only that remaining part which is asked in the question. They have asked you show CD bisects AB. That means you have to prove OB equal to OA. So you take this remaining part. Therefore, OA equal to OB because of CPCT. I hope this problem is clear. Very, very important question. Please make a note of it. Now question number 4, again an extremely important question. There are two parallel lines L and M and they are intersected by another set of parallel lines P and Q. You have to show that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle CDA. That is, these two triangles are congruent. So you write down what all is given. So it is mentioned that the two lines are parallel and this is what you need to prove. So how do you start the proof? You take line L parallel line M. So you begin by writing L is parallel M and AC is the transversal. Now what I'm doing is I'm drawing a diagram separately for better understanding. Now look at this diagram. This is L and this is M and AC is the transversal, right? So don't you get Z-shape angle? That means this angle will be congruent to this angle. So how do you name this angle and this? Which two angles will be congruent? It is angle BCA, that is this. So Z shape BCA will be congruent to DAC because they are alternate angles. I have shown an indication like this angle in blue and this angle in blue. Okay. It's very important that you write the reason that they are alternate angles. Now you take another set of parallel lines. P parallel Q. So again make a statement that P is parallel to Q because it is given. and you take the same transversal AC. Okay. Now when you take the same transversal AC, let us see how the diagram looks now. So I have taken the diagram separately for better understanding. So this is P and this is Q. Only thing is I've drawn it straight. I've not put it as, I've not taken it slanting. AC is a transversal. So this and this will be Z-shaped angle, that is alternate angle. So which two angles will be congruent? You'll have BAC congruent to DCA. So the next statement is this, because they are alternate angles, right? And you number that as statement 2. And in the diagram, I have shown this with yellow markings. So this angle in blue is congruent to this angle in blue when line L is parallel to M. And this angle in yellow is congruent to this angle in yellow when P is parallel to Q. Now that you have seen the indications, write down the name of the triangle that is given to you and mention which all angles and which sides are congruent. So take the first statement, BCA congruent to DAC from 1. Okay. So BCA congruent to DAC, which is in blue, from 1. AC is congruent to AC. For this triangle and this triangle, AC is a common side. And then you have BAC congruent to DCA from 2. That is from the previous statement. Therefore, the two triangles ABC is congruent to triangle CDA by which test? ASA congruence rule. Angle, side and this angle. Okay. And the two triangles are congruent by this congruence rule. So the remaining parts will also be congruent. But they have not asked you for that. They have just told you to find, they have just told you to prove the triangles congruent. Now students, this same question can also be solved by SSS congruence rule. Try it out, see if you can prove them congruent by side congruence rule. I give you a clue. You have to give the reason. Okay, try out the reason. This side will be congruent to this side. This side will be congruent to this, and this is a common side. So you have S, S, S congruence rule. Now these are MCQs that I have given you for homework. See if you can solve it. I have not discussed this in any of the video lessons, but these are general questions pertaining to triangles. Okay, and you have done these even in lower class, so try to attempt it. I don't think there should be any difficulty in solving these. So try doing these homework questions. I will discuss the same homework questions in the next video lesson. Okay. So in the next online class, we will be doing other problems from exercise 7.1. Until then, goodbye and take care.